So what kind of plant is this, John?
This here is hydrangea macrophylla, and it blooms on old wood. It's a hydrangea. The good benefits.
Is it the Nico blue?
This, I believe, is the Nico blue, but you know all hydrangea macrophyllas are somewhat the same. They do have the endless summers, which claim to bloom on new wood, but you know, not as well as if you protect them. So
what's good about this plant, other than it's gorgeous?
The showy colors, you know, it's got nice yellow fall color. You could have pink or blue flowers depending on your soil acidity. To make them more blue, you want to add, you know, soil sulfur. It depends on your soil. You want to get a soil test first and see what you have. Like this is Illinois, so we got alkaline soil. They're going to be pink naturally. And I've kind of amended the soil. That's why it's kind of a little blue. I put coffee grinds around it, soil sulfur, whatever you got to increase the pH.
So the only bad thing about it is it's just not very hardy in this zone?
Right, because like I said earlier, it blooms on old wood, which usually gets killed down by all our late frosts and our cold winters and our hard winds. Come spring, you know, it's going to die down to the ground if you don't do anything about it.
And then it just won't really bloom next year?
No, you'll just have all foliage and no blooms.
Okay.
This is John from Roots Nursery, and today I'm going to teach you how to overwinter your hydrangea macrophyllas, which, you know, this is zone 5 around Chicago, so, you know, they'll live through the winter, but the stems will all die down in the ground and you won't get any blooms because it blooms on last year's growth. So this is a technique I've devised to keep those blooms, as many as you can. First thing you want to do is take a fencing and wrap it around it, and you know, the higher the better. But this is what I had, so we're working with it. And these are all the buds that we're trying to protect. These are all the flower buds, all up and down the stems. And we need to protect those so we get some kind of blooms. And as you can see, I did a pretty good job last year. There's a decent amount of blooms on here. And then we'll just take the leaves from your yard. You know, you gotta pick them up anyway, so might as well put them to use. And we'll fill it around here.
Good recycling.
The best technique is to do this when they're dry, but it just rains, so you just want to kind of rain it in there around the crown of the plant best you can. You don't want to drop too much at once, or else you're just going to bend all the stems down. Kind of sneak them in there. I like to come in and hold them up, drop them in, so you've got leaves insulating them from the mesh. That way the winds aren't going to rip the buds. And the plan is to fill it up as high with leaves as you can. Kind of gotta keep shaking it to get the leaves to settle. And if I had more leaves, I'd continue till it's full. Probably mound it up a little bit, because it will, you know, as it freezes and snows, it will sink down lower and lower. So more the better. And then come springtime, probably near your last frost date, you know, it doesn't have, you could take a little frost, but you don't want it to be hard killing frost. You will take this off, blow the leaves out, and then once the buds all start breaking, you see how high it's alive, you'll just cut above a node. Like if this was dead, you would cut above this node and your flowers will come from there.
Awesome. So this is put to bed.
Halfway. It's half in bed. Needs some more leaves.
It looks pretty cool.
That's the general gist of it.